Welcome everybody to the Xbox Design Lab. Here are 8 more of my very own custom ideas. First up, we have the Spider-Man controller. I'm going with the blue on the back, the red on the front, and these metallic bumpers. You can't differentiate between the bumpers and the triggers. They got to be the same color, so we're going with that metallic blue. But there's some additional details you can customize here. You can actually change the base of the thumbsticks as well as a ring around the thumbsticks. So I'm going to do a black ring around the white thumbsticks, just like the eyes of Spider-Man. We're going to engrave that Spider-Man, and let's take a look. There's also another detail on the back. Don't forget the paddles. So I'm going to make the paddles red to add some red to the back, and now we got the black, the red, the blue, looking just like Spider-Man. I like the web. It looks like you slung a web out there on that D-pad. I love that. Now next up, we have the nurse controller. This thing's going to be looking sexy, let me tell you guys. This Elite controller has some great details. We're going to go with the white with the ash gray metallic silver, just like the utensils and the instruments that a doctor uses on the operating table. So we're going to go with not the fancy new D-pad, but the old school cross D-pad, and we're going to put the red cross on there because this is a nurse controller. So just like the hospital, just like the sexy nurse you saw in the picture, we're going to have that red cross there and just white pretty much everything else out that we can. Just clean, just like a hospital. And if you're playing a healer class, let's engrave it healer. I know there's a lot of healer classes out there, and this is going to be perfect for you guys. We got some more of that on the back. We got that metallic, like the instruments or the stainless steel look, and it's going to cost you $186. Like I said, you know, I don't want you guys spending too much money. I'm going to try to save you guys some money. I'm not adding the replacement buttons or joysticks, or there's a bag you can get with it too. That's unnecessary. What's going to make you guys game better out there? We're putting the paddles on the back, and that's about as extra as we're getting with this one here, and as well as the metallic things. But all right, so let's get into the Joker controller. As you saw from that illustration, you got the, what do you call it, the flower that he wears on his suit represented there with that green D-pad. We're pulling at that orange as well with the thumbsticks and a whole lot of purple, and that black works well too. You can't change that. The grips are staying black on all these controllers, but you know, you got to make it work. So that's why we're going with the Joker here, because he's got some black in his suit and what have you as well. We're going to put some of that orange on the back with those bumpers, and it is looking sweet. Look at this. This is a wild design. The Joker's a wild dude. 186. So we're putting metallic on most of these. I think that's the only option. A lot of these are going to stay in that 186 price range, but they can go up over $200. Now, speaking of going up and over, we're going with the Superman. Look in the skies of the birds of the plane. No, it's the Superman controller, and we got to add some red, some blue, that yellow as well from the S on his chest there's represented on the D-pad, and we're going to add a ring of yellow as well around those red joysticks. Now, another great addition with the Elite 2 controllers is the colorful buttons. You can have all red buttons on the X, Y, B, and A's, and you can also color the select buttons as well, and the shared buttons. Those are going to be yellow there, and you gotta even things out with some blue on the back with all that red back there. Let's add some blue, and it all comes together nice. That is the Superman controller, 186 as well, and look at her go, man, or should I say he. This is the Superman. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Next up, we have an Xbox OG, the Duke inspired design, but we're going to make some changes to it, but it's also going to have that nostalgic throwback feel of the original Xbox controller. So you know, we got to go with a bunch of black. That thing was a big black controller, BBC if you will. You know, so we got to go with the colorful buttons. If you remember on the original, they were that colorful on colorful X, Y, B, and A buttons. It had a white button as well, so we're gonna go with all 3 white buttons. That's as close as we can get. Throwing some white on that black there really gives me that Duke feel there. And let's just throw, you know, with the paddles, some green on the back as well to tie it all together. Engrave that Duke like we did there, and look at it, man. This is, you know, a great kind of reimagining of the original. Now we have a UFO alien inspired design, and we're gonna go with, of course, that alien green. What do they call it? Velocity green. I like to call it alien green, with a whole lot of silver on this this as well. Like the UFOs and the flying saucers, we got to go with a bunch of silver. We're going to do that with the thumbstick base, the metals there. And ash gray blends nicely with the metals. We're going to just green, go all green with those X, Y, B, and A. And the lime, kind of lighter, what do they call that? I don't know. Is that lighter lime green though? Blends nicely with the darker green. We're going to engrave it Area 51, and we're going to put some more of that silver, that kind of alien technology silver, and it is looking out of this world. You can get that for $186.97 as well. And man, it looks like something you'd see Bob Lazar talking about. You know, hey, I saw this controller, you've never seen it before, and then finally you can get it here on the Xbox Design Lab. This one, if you are under the age of 18, divert your eyes and your ears, because we're going to be talking about some adult stuff here. This one is for the ladies, alright? And if you get bored of playing games and you want to play a different game with something else, you can do it here with this controller. The rumble on this thing, I imagine, is something serious. And you know, ladies like their rumbles, the thunder down under, if you will. So you can get it on with this controller here. We're going all pink for the ladies. We're going to engrave that XXX. Brings a whole nother meaning to the word controller sports, if you know what I'm saying. You might be into water sports, you might be into controller sports. For the price of this controller, you better get more bang for your buck, if you know what I'm saying. So you can do that here. I think there's a setting where you can test the rumble and just have it go constantly until you get to where you're trying to go to. Now we have a Halloween design. This is the spooky controller. We're going black, we're going orange, we're going dark orange, metallic orange, and it's looking great. We definitely got to do something about those X, Y, B, and A buttons. But first, there's 3 different options for these joysticks. I love it. And then, of course, we got to go with the black and gray X, Y, B, and A buttons. It reminds me of, you know, the old gray on like a tombstone or something, and then blacked out in the background. And these paddles on the back look like little spider legs. I like that. So this is a real spooky one. It's really getting me in the Halloween holiday spirit here. $186.97, and this is great for horror fans out there. You want to bust this out around Halloween time. But there you have it. That's one design for each of the controller colors that you can choose from with these new Elite 2 controllers. They're pretty pricey, but you know, they're looking good, so I think it might be worth it. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, hope I got your juices flowing, your creative juices flowing. Until next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger. Rusty Pfluger, over and out.